Thinking of starting a pig farm? Then stop. If you fall within these categories, you might be wasting your time if you start this business. So pig farming is not for you if you hate dirt and odors. Pig farming is very messy and also smells, especially in our part of the world here. So if you can't handle the sight of manure or the smell from a pigsty, then it is a no-go area for you. And if you're also looking for quick money, pig farming is not for you. Pigs take months to grow and breeding takes patience. There will be some times that you want to increase your farm's capacity, while you take the females to the male for breeding but the males refuse to even attend to the females, or the males to go there and the females are not accepting them. You have to be patient, sometimes to the extent of even missing the period and waiting for the next phase, which is something you have to endure. And again, the third people who cannot also start pig farming is those who can't handle losses. Pigs get sick and die sometimes. If you can't handle setbacks, pig farming will test your resilience, and that is where if you are not ready, you give up. Pigs die. I've farmed these animals to the extent that now I see rejections and losses as just a normal thing. And this has even translated to my normal life. I do apply for some applications and opportunities, and I get bounced many times. I get rejected emails. Like I get emails telling me that it's not successful, and like I don't even feel for it again. Rejection and losses have become my second nature, so I don't really care about it. I get an email notification from a company or an opportunity I apply for, and then I just drag it down. It reads that we are sorry to inform you that I just drag it somewhere and move on with life. And this behavior, I learned it from pig farming. Sometimes people come and then I have my animal photo like 14, and all of a sudden she's able to kill 11, leaving me with 3. People come and they are crying for me. Oh, so sad, oh, it's bad. But I'm smiling myself because I know what I'm doing, and it's part of the game. Once you understand it that way, you move on. Okay, so pig farming is not for you if you can't handle these losses. And again, people who won't learn and also research, you must understand that feed formulation is very, very important. Breeding is also a key thing you have to get grip of, and disease control, as well as farm management. These are things you need to get to understand them well. So if you avoid learning, your farm will fail. So that is why every day you see me coming here to see new things. I'm always learning about what is happening in pig farming, and because I'm already inside it, every day the pigs teach me something new and I document it. That is how I get to share with you all the time. And people who cannot also start pig farming or are not advised to start pig farming are those who hate physical work. Sometimes people say if you have the money you can farm it profitably, but that is not always the case. Feeding, cleaning and checking for diseases, and sometimes moving pigs require you to be there yourself, especially for those of us who are using our own energy, our time and also our money. We can't hire a lot of people. We have to do a lot of work initially to ensure that it is moving on well. So if you want a lazy, maybe a sit-down business, pig farming isn't for you. Just get yourself a tabletop and maybe you can do some mobile money businesses or sell some groceries, which will help you make better money there. And the 6 people who can also start pig farming are those who hate dealing with workers. This is very key, especially if you plan to hire farm workers. You must learn to manage people. Dishonest workers can still feed, and they feed pigs or sell pigs behind your back. You understand? And also dealing with customers, they are all people. I have a customer that when it comes to buy my animal, the way I will have to talk plenty to the extent that sometimes I have to let him go and come back before the deal is sealed. Just a troublesome guy. If you drive him, he will not go. He will be following you up and down just to ensure that you get him an animal to go home with. You understand? So these are all things that if you don't do it well, you end up driving a lot of people away from you and you become alone in the business, which is something you don't want to do. And also, people who can't handle market uncertainty are also advised not to go into pig farming, because pig prices, they go up and down. Sometimes buyers delay payment, and if you can't adapt, you will struggle. With this, let me just share an experience I had recently with you. A buyer came to buy one of my pigs, and this guy promised me a week to pay the full amount. I agreed. When the time was due, he came to give me 30%. I refused. He made it 40%, and then he promised to bring it back, the balance, in 2 days. 2 days turned to 5 days. This guy didn't show up, and he was just there misbehaving like that. At the end of it, he paid the money in full, but just that I wasn't happy how he paid the money. Peace. And you know what? With this same buyer, I wanted him to have a feel of how it is to be buying pigs from other farms. So I referred him to another farmer who, to me, I didn't know the farmer didn't have that kind of heart. So the guy went there, they did business behind my back. I directed the guy to him. He didn't even call to confirm or say, Francis, are you the one who asked the buyer to come to my farm? They went ahead and did their business. And this guy took the same behavior to the farmer there. He was refusing to pay the money on time. It was at this point that the farmer was calling me to tell me that the guy I referred to, I said, which guy? You never told me about any guy. He said, yeah, the guy came here 4 days ago that you directed him to my farm. I said, yes, but you didn't tell me anything. How was it? Oh, then we did the deal, but the guy has refused to pay the money, and I'm not even seeing him, and I call him, he's not answering. Are you close to him? Can you visit him for me? I said, madam, please, you didn't tell me anything. So find a way to reach out to this man, get your money from him. For me, I didn't even know you had done any business with him. So find a way, get your money, and keep quiet there. Because if it was successful, you wouldn't have told me. Later, I got to realize that even the negotiation with the pig wasn't successful. Like, it wasn't in the favor of the farmer. Because this farmer told me that she was selling her animals for a particular amount. But this buyer went there and got the animal about, I think, 37% less the original price. So the farmer couldn't bargain well, and the guy ended up exploiting him like that. And after which, he also even refused to pay the money on time. Double trouble for him. And also, if you can't also invest in good feed, you're not going to see any progress in your activities. So if you're not ready to spend on quality feed, your pigs will take forever to reach market weight. Yes, sometimes I don't just want to talk about people's farm on this channel, but there are some farms you go there, you see a pig, and the person tells you the number of months this animal is. You will begin to laugh. One of the farmers left his piglet to stay with their mom for close to 4 months. Never weaned them. They were there for close to 4 months because they were still looking small, and he thought they were getting breast milk. But that wasn't the case. They were just there eating what the mother was eating. So he was trying to speed up their growth by letting them take more milk. But the mother just weaned them like that. They were just living together as neighbors. No breast milk. Also competing for the same feed. No growth. Until the animals catch like 6 months. So he reached out to me after 6 months, and I said, well, it's too late. So what we can do is, let's find a way to discard these guys, and then we start fresh with me. So pig farming is such that if you are not willing to invest in your animals, you're not going to see any profit. And if you're not also willing to do the work yourself, and you want to be paying for everything, you'll be at the mercy of the third parties you involve, and that is where there will be a problem for you. You understand? And also, like I talked about the buyers, they'll come to your farm, try to frustrate you. They give you some annoying prices just to upset you and just to test your patience. I don't know if that is what you want. So it all comes down to the fact that you have to know what you're doing on your farm. You should stand your grounds, and at least you should have some money to buffer you in case you are not able to sell your animals. You still have that money to keep the farm going, so they don't look desperate in the face of the buyer, else they take advantage of you. But one thing that pig farmer has actually taught me is that I take losses and rejection as normal and as part of life. And like I said, if I see any letter, or if I receive any letter or email from an organization applies for something, I apply for an opportunity to be with them or do something, and then I get rejected, I see the email, I just push it somewhere and then move on with life. That is it, because I've seen losses. I see animals die in my presence, and it's the same thing. So what is new? So these are things that pig farming will teach you, and they help build your character. Like, if you're actually farming, not pigs alone, if you're farming animals in general, it will get to a point that you see that it's not about the animals or farm, but it's building your character. That is what I'm seeing. It's building your character, making you very resilient. There are certain things that you see and you take it to be a challenge. But I will see that there's an opportunity for me to adapt here and also come out with some innovative things inside here. So in every situation that I find on my farm, I know that I messed up somewhere. So I need to correct that and come out and share so that people will avoid it in the near future. And I don't see any challenge on my farm. Anything I see, I know that this is an opportunity for me to learn something new and move on. So if you are in pig farming, please also look somewhere else. Just appreciate the fact that you are building yourself, your character, your resilience, your patience, and also trying to relate with humans and the care, the love you have for the animals.